I call the meeting of the San Juan Unified School District Board of Education to order. The closed session items on tonight's agenda are as followed. First, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 sub D sub 1 in two cases. First case, Magali Kincaid, Benito Juarez Neighborhood Association, Neighborhood Elections Now. Juan Iniguez, Carolina Flores, Damaris Canton versus the San Juan Unified School District. Complaint for violation of the California Voting Rights Act, and in the alternative for the violation of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and the California Constitution, Sacramento Superior Court case number 342000286475. The second case is Carolina Flores, Neighborhood Elections Now Partners versus San Juan Unified School District, Paula Villazquez, in her official capacity of board president. Respondents verified petition for writ of mandate pursuant to the First Amendment, the California Constitution, the California Public Records Act, and the Ralph M. Brown Act, and complaint for declaratory and injunctive relief, Sacramento Superior Court case number 34-2021-8000-3644 CUWMGDS. The second matter is collective bargaining matters discussion with negotiator Daniel Thigpen, Senior Director of Labor Relations, regarding CSEA Chapter 127, General Operations Support, Chauffeurs, Teamsters Local number 150, Transportation Supervisors, Teachers, and Certificated Supervisor Units, and regarding non-represented groups, management, and confidential groups, Government Code Section 54957.6. And the third matter is personnel matters, Government Code Section 54957, two items. The superintendent's goals for 22-23 and the superintendent's search and public employee appointment and employment dash superintendent. We have one speaker. I would like to remind the public that the comments are limited to 2 minutes per speaker, and the clock on the screen counts down the time. We will, and the speaker is Mr. Avey.
Good evening, Mr. President, trustees. My name is Ben Avey. Got buzzed out already. Good evening, Mr. President and trustees. My name is Ben Avey, president of the San Juan Parents Association and a candidate for school board. Tonight, I would like to address you regarding the search for a new superintendent and his or her recruitment. I believe this is the first time this has been agendized on a meeting, so I wanted to come and offer our requests for that process. First and foremost, we would like to request a public and transparent process. While we recognize that some aspects of recruitment are confidential, we would urge the board to make as many processes public and transparent as possible, limiting closed session and instead holding these discussions in an open public session so the board and the public is aware of those conversations. To that end, we would like to request an advisory board be appointed with a parent majority to be involved in the process, including the confidential aspects of that process, to ensure that parents are represented in those conversations and have a voice at the table, considering they are the legal voice of students who the district serves. Last and most importantly, we would like to request that the final interviews and ultimate decision be deferred until after the new Board of Education is seated in December. The board will be transitioning from 5 members to 7. There are 4 seats up for election in November, which is less than 100 days away. While I don't think that there will be a process to hire a superintendent prior to that, I think it's important for the board to be intentional and transparent and announce that they won't make that decision until the new board is seated and can make that final determination. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good evening.
We will now move to closed session and we will return to open session at 6:30. I call the meeting of the San Juan Unified District Board of Education back to order. The meeting is being audio and video recorded, and the recording may capture sounds and images of those attending this meeting. The recording will be posted on the district website. Board meetings are being held in person in the boardroom at the district office, and the public is welcome to attend. Alternatively, the meeting may be viewed on the district's YouTube channel where it is being live streamed. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome. I am Michael McKibben, Board President. To my right is Ms. Ziema Creason, Board Vice President. To her right is Ms. Pam Costa, Board Clerk. And to her right is Mr. Saul Hernandez and Ms. Paula Vasquez, Board Members. To my left is Superintendent Kent Kern, and to his left is Board Administrative Assistant Stephanie Cunningham. Individuals who are attending the meeting in person and would like to offer a public comment, we ask that you complete a speaker request card available at the staff table, and you will be called upon at the appropriate time during the agenda. Please note that Board Bylaws 9323 limits visitor comments to 2 minutes per speaker, with no more than 30 minutes per single topic. Time will be extended to any speaker who uses an interpreter. Please be aware that public comments, including your name, become part of the public record. Sure. We are now at item D1, approval of the minutes for June 14th. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 14?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Costa, seconded by Ms. Vasquez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? I am abstaining from this, and
You're abstaining later.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
I am sorry. I was not at that meeting.
that's June
I
14th.
apologize. That was, my bad. I abstain.
Okay, and the vote is 4-0 with 1 abstention. We now move to item D2, approval of the minutes of June 28th. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 28th? Ms. Creason moves, the second by
Second.
Ms. Costa. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Are there any abstentions? There are 2 abstentions, myself and Ms. Vasquez. The motion passes 3-0 with 2 abstentions. We are now at items E1 through E4. And there are no reports from staff, board appointed committees and district committees, employee organizations, and other organizations. We are now at E5, closed session, expulsion actions. Ms. Costa.
This evening, the board approved a final settlement agreement with all plaintiffs in the cases of Magali Kincaid et al. Versus San Juan Unified School District and Carolina Flores et al. Versus San Juan Unified School District et al. By the unanimous vote of 4-0. Although the district agreed to move to trustee area elections, the lawsuit was filed and required the district to hire counsel to defend the 2 cases. The district was successful in having the Superior Court dismiss the California Voting Rights Act claim brought by various plaintiffs. A federal claim remained in the lawsuit that we believe would also have been eventually dismissed by the court. After a voluntary settlement conference before a judge, the parties reached a tentative settlement, subject to board approval of the remaining two cases. The settlement terms require the plaintiffs to dismiss the lawsuits and the district pay attorney fees in the total amount of $130,000. That includes the statutory fees of $32,582.48 already authorized. The agreement to pay fees beyond the statutory fee amount was to assure that the district would not spend even more funds in defending the remaining two cases through trial and to put an end to these two cases.
Thank you. We are now at visitor comments. Item F, do we have any speaker cards for general visitor comments? We have.
Do have two speaker cards. Up first will be April Bean, followed by Aaron Mokhtar.
I would like to remind the public that comments are limited to 2 minutes. The clock on the screen counts down the time. Under the Ralph M. Brown Act, the board is not allowed to comment on items that are not on the agenda. So we are not ignoring your comments. We just can't respond to any individual comments. The superintendent can refer items to staff who can follow up with you. Our first speaker is April Bean. Thank you. Ms. Bean, please go ahead.
Good evening. My name is April, and although my home resides within the San Juan Unified School District, we have pulled our children out of its schools due to a long list of concerns. This week, I feel even more confirmed that this was the right choice for our family, and I will share why. You may have heard of the Trevor Project. It is a well-funded and highly visible charity that claims to focus on suicide prevention efforts among LGBTQ youth. They have a broad range of corporate donors, including many beloved and well-known brands such as Facebook, Google, Netflix, Disney, Verizon, and Nike. It may also be of interest to you to note that the Trevor Project receives millions of dollars from pharmaceutical companies such as Kaiser Permanente, Johnson & Johnson, and AbbVie, who conveniently makes the puberty-blocking drug Lupron. Most disturbingly, the Trevor Project website contains a chat feature, which is featured prominently on the SJUSD website, known as Trevor Space, which is open to people up to age 24. Trevor Space is readily accessible to any San Juan student from their district-issued electronic device and contains information such as how to buy things like binders and packers without parental knowledge, how to use Rogaine to grow facial hair when your parents won't allow you to take hormones, as well as numerous incidents of adults seen talking to minors about inappropriate sexual behavior, grooming them for such, and talking about then meeting up in person. In short, Trevor Space is a child predator's paradise, and I'm wondering why it is on our district website. My questions for you are you aware of this issue? And if so, how is it that San Juan Unified is comfortable with being complicit in the sexualization of our vulnerable youth? And what do you plan to do about it? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Our second speaker is Aaron Mokhtar.
I'm Erin Mokhtar. I'm a parent of two kids at Rio Americano and at Mariemont Elementary. We moved here last year from Los Angeles. We were in the LAUSD school district. And I was surprised when we moved here that the schools are as open as they are. LAUSD, all schools are gated and monitored. There's very little concern about security because it's a priority. And I was wondering if funds are being allocated from the state or the federal government to address school security and what the plans are. as in the research that I've done about school security, the keys seem to be locked, locked gates, as well as internal locks in the classroom doors. And I'd like to know if your district has goals to address those things. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing there are no further visitor comments, we move on to the consent calendar. Item G. Do any members wish to remove any items from the consent calendar? Ms. Creason.
I do. I'd like to remove item G7.
Ms. Fiascas.
I would like to pull item G8.
Thank you very much. Those two are pulled for the time being. Is there a motion to approve items G1 through G6?
So moved.
A move by Ms. Fiasca, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It is unanimous vote. Thank you. Item G7 was pulled from the consent calendar by Ms. Creason. Is there a motion to approve item G7?
So moved.
Is there a second? And seconded by Mr. Hernandez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Oh, sorry.
Wait, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Got confused.
This is item G7. And we're voting on item G7. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining?
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. Creason abstains. The motion passes 4-0 with one extension. Now we move to item G8 that was pulled by Ms. Viasquez. Is there a motion to approve item G8? By Ms. Creason, second by Ms. Costa. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions? One abstention. The motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. Okay, we move forward now to the business items. The first business item is item I1. Ms. Carlson.
Good evening, President McKibben, members of the board, Superintendent Kern, and Ms. Cunningham. I'm here tonight to present the superintendent's recommendation that the board adopt the declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 22-23 school year. This is an annual action item, as this document must be on file with the California Teaching Commission that allows the district to hire teachers on emergency permits. And I can answer any questions the board might have.
Are there any questions or comments from the board on this item? Okay. Seeing none, this is an action. Incidentally, it was a very well done item. I do look at those from my
Thank you.
past histories, and it was well done. This is an action item. Is there a motion to approve the declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 2022-2023 school year?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Costa, seconded by Ms. Creason. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It is unanimous. We are now at item J, board reports. Are there any board reports? Ms. Fiascas.
Sure. I'd like to share out to my colleagues that yesterday I attended the celebration of life and memorial service along with Mr. Frank Camarda of David Doer, who was both my appointee for quite some time to one of our district committees. But in addition to that, Frank and I got a very significant history lesson from start to finish, and it was truly fascinating. He also did serve as a school board member here in San Juan Unified, which I know some of you may know, but wanted to note that and in a sign that some things never change, though some do. interestingly enough, was the subject of a recall. And so were all of his colleagues, and he was the only one that made it. And so it was just a really interesting piece of San Juan history, in addition to being the chief architect of Proposition 13 and many other legislative accomplishments and the key advisor to many governors and administrations. So I was happy to be there on behalf of the board in celebrating the long life of one of our community members. And in addition to that, I'll just take a moment to say welcome back to the team and to our school site leaders and teachers, and soon here in a few days to our students and families as well. I'm excited about a brand new school year getting kicked off. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Any others? Yes, please.
Just quickly, I've been trying to just be helpful where I can. So I had the opportunity to volunteer at Rio for one of their scheduled pickup days. It was kind of funny. I did not do that at my son's school, but I did do it at Rio, and it was really fun just to see the kids get back. And it's just fun to engage them. You're one of the first people they see before the start of the school year. So, but the kids are excited, and I'm excited too. And I also just wanted to bring up something that really gives me a lot of hope. It makes me so proud to be part of the district that we are in. The staffing shortage in education is not unique to SJUSD. It hits us very, very hard. And I was so proud to learn, well, first I was sad to learn and scared to learn that we did have a couple of elementary teacher shortages. We didn't have a couple elementary teachers in place to welcome some of our students, which is scary, right? School's starting in a couple of days, but because of our excellent partnerships with our teachers and our staff, those shortages are close to being filled. If I understand correctly, there's only one position left to be filled, and that's in less than 24 hours. We put out the call and everyone just stepped up to do what needed to be done. And I really think that speaks to the importance of respectful, collaborative relationships with parents, teachers, staff, our whole school families, the whole school community. It's not an us against them. So I'm really excited to kick off this new year with positivity. We as the board, we set the culture. We can't make decisions for everyone, but we sure can set an example. So I want to start with a positive message that it takes all of us. None of this works without all of us working together to do whatever we need to do and meet our kids where they're at so that they have everything that they need to thrive. So just really proud to be part of this district.
I wanted to add 4 events that I have attended over the last couple of weeks. The first was the Equity Summit that was done. And it was the way that it opened up with indeed the youth poet laureate of the state of California talking about her journey and so forth, followed by the youth voice advocates from Rio talking about the kinds of experiences that they were having, and as the first 2 items in our Equity Summit, and set a tone, I think, for the year that was most important. The second event was that Ms. Vasquez and I attended the elected officials representation at Citrus Heights, where we both talked about the activities of the school board and so forth. And among the 14 speakers, I think we were number 11 in line. So I'm not sure they were still listening by that time, but I think that we stood up very well with all of the others that started with Congressman Vera and moved on from there. And it was very impressive. The third event that I attended was the Smooth Start, and going out and seeing the more than 100 new teachers new to the district. Ironically, I think about half of those new teachers were in fact from other districts that have chosen to come to our district to teach. And I think that speaks volumes. And the fourth event I wanted to talk about was the Cultivating Leaders meet and greet that we were at and so forth. And indeed seeing I can't remember what the number was, more than 50, as I recall. Well, over 100 folks there that are interested in becoming in various leadership positions throughout the district. And that was that had a great feel to it also. And I think portends well for the rest of our school year. Unless someone else has something else, we're okay? Okay. So we now move to item K, future agenda items. Are there any board members who wish to add items to the future agenda? Okay. And then, so that includes all of the items. We do need to move back to closed session related to personnel matters and so forth. Unless there is anything further, we are adjourned. We have returned from closed session. There were no actions taken in closed session. I deem this meeting adjourned.